My first degree was as a geologist, and I worked as a well site geologist. And the price of oil dropped, our company went out of business, and I found myself without a job. So I went back and got a degree in civil engineering. And there was this sign on the hallway of the engineering building, and it was advertising for summer interns at the Utah Department of Transportation.
President Braceras says his life has not been a well-mapped-out journey. In fact, in 1986, when he accepted that UDOT internship, he says he had no idea it was the beginning of a 32-year climb up the corporate ladder, from chief engineer to deputy director, and in 2013, executive director, responsible today for more than 1,600 employees and a budget of nearly $2 billion. Then, in September 2018, after years of service as a member of the AASHTO Board of Directors and a devoted committee volunteer, Braceras was elected AASHTO President.
I see some people, and they appear to me to have a plan. And it seems like they had it all figured out long ago, and they touched the right bases. And I look at myself and I say, you know, I've just stumbled through things. But I truly believe that when you're in a position and you believe in it and you give it your all, amazing things happen.
Braceras has chaired several AASHTO committees, and he's served as Secretary, Treasurer, Vice President, and now President. High on his list of presidential priorities is getting the transportation industry fired up about workforce development.
We're having a hard time in the transportation business. It's not just state DOTs. Talk to the contracting industry. They're really struggling with bringing folks into what have historically been really good jobs, well-paying jobs to support families. And I would love for state DOTs to see and think of AASHTO as that place to go for that training that's so valuable for their employees.
No two state departments of transportation are exactly alike, but they all rely on their share of the revenue from the Federal Highway Trust Fund, which is projected to run out of money in 2020. Congress has kept the trust fund solvent by transferring revenues from the general fund, something President Braceras says is a bad idea.
We were always worried that general funds, some of the money would leak out of the Highway Trust Fund for non-transportation purposes. Well, today, we've swung the door the other way, and we're accepting this general fund money. And what we're doing is we're funding an ongoing program with one-time money, with one-time budget gimmicks. And it's not a responsible way to go.
President Braceras has made raising awareness about the need for sustainable federal transportation funding for states another of his key emphasis areas. The goal, he says, will be to find ways to better communicate the value that highways, bridges, transit, bike, and pedestrian trails bring to communities.
We have to be able to take our transportation system and where it's at today and explain this in terms that matter to people. We have to be able to explain why when we do transportation right, it gives you the ability to have a good job and to make good money and to have a quality of life where you can get home and have dinner with your family. You can go to the soccer game with your kids. This is about people and what they care about.
Braceras knows his time as president will be short-lived. The clock is already ticking down on his one-year term. But looking back a year from now, he says his hope will be that everyone around him will have had fun.
I'm a strong believer that if people are having fun in what they do amazing things. And so creating that environment where people aren't feeling stressed, but they're enjoying what they do, I think that would be a great way to have people look at this on the back end.
President Braceras is a husband, a proud dog dad, and a lover of all things outdoors. Carlos Braceras, PE, Utah DOT Executive Director and AASHTO President for 2018-2019.